Did you ever stop and wonder, how did you get here? How did you get to this place?
Whenever we're doing something, we're always starting or entering into it while it's already in progress. It's already started. So we need to just pick a place and just start. People ask, how did you get in there? But what they really want to know is if they are likely to end up in here as well. I can't answer the real question. All I can tell them is, it's easy. And it is easy to slip into a parallel universe. There are so many of them. Worlds of the insane, the criminal, the crippled, the dying, perhaps of the dead as well. These worlds exist alongside this world and resemble it, but are not in it. But most people pass over incrementally, making a series of perforations in the membrane between here and there until an opening exists. And who can resist an opening? In the parallel universe, the laws of physics are suspended. What goes up doesn't necessarily come down. A body at rest does not tend to stay at rest. And not every action can be counted on to provoke an equal and opposite reaction. Time, too, is different. It may run in circles, flow backward, skip about from now to then. The very arrangement of molecules is fluid. Tables can be clocks, faces, flowers. These are facts you find out later, though. Another odd feature of the parallel universe is that although it is invisible from this side, once you are in it, you can easily see the world you came from. Every window on Alcatraz has a view of San Francisco. I began this program aware of how firmly rooted I was in all of my previous memories and experiences regarding all of these locations. In the first part of this year, I noticed that my memories and my attachments to these places were emerging through my artistic inquiry process, which led me to the question, how does the past inform the present? How does participation in the arts process allow for movement back and forth between the past and the future while still staying grounded in the present? Throughout my own personal history, the arts have always been there as a way for me to process information and gain a deeper understanding of what was going on around me. I started going back a little bit and thinking of myself almost as like an archaeologist and like digging for evidence. Like, well, what assumptions do I bring here? Not only is my history, but how did I learn these things? And realizing that we take a lot of our own knowledge for granted. Through a moment of embodied resistance, I entered a parallel universe. And in this parallel universe, the studio shifts to a new location, both physically and conceptually. And when we move the studio from one place to another, it changes what we make. And it also changes our perspective and what we can see. So we can be in that parallel universe and we can kind of switch things up. Through this new way of seeing, this disruption, this alternate universe, this parallel universe that I was introduced to, I was able to disrupt that narrative that I would tell myself about myself. I was able to embrace discomfort and sit with it and learn about what is this trying to tell me? And if instead of pushing it away like we all so often do, I was able to sit with it and let it evolve and listen in. When I create art, I create maps. And that these maps are snapshots. They're collections of these little discarded bits of life that kind of spill over or go unnoticed or unrecognized. As I was learning about these new theorists, I understood this field of performance studies and radical research, and how to bring together both intellectual knowledge and observed facts with embodied and felt knowledge, and how we can bring these two together through performance. The only way that I can really explain what this is and what I learned from it was to perform it somehow. But I got stuck. I didn't quite know, how do you perform research? After I created this performance, after I disrupted the space of the studio and created this happening, I realized I was lost once again.
What do we do when we're lost? Many of us will look at a map, yet a map isn't very helpful if we don't figure out where we are first. This research process uses maps made through artistic inquiry in an attempt to capture, develop, and expose various types of data. This data is embodied and performed through transformation of various physical environments as a way to invite others into the mind of the researcher, enact disruptions of thought and routine, and challenge assumptions. If the assumption is that the goal of therapy is psychological change of some sort, that change and transformation only comes through a formula of practice over time. Through this paradoxical lens, I have come to understand that transformation occurs in art therapy by enacting disruptions that provide starting points for conversations. We need to embrace discomfort and uncertainty in order to have, not avoid, these difficult conversations. The creation of art and performance gives us a place to start.